Ladies and gentlemen, take the fear out. The Kia presents What Makes the Boys Tick. In the left chair, Chumley Warner. In the right chair, Jason Bangers.
So here we are in the ring. So, Mr. Bangers, what makes you tick?
Yeah, it's a difficult question, that one. Gadgets for me. I love gadgets. Anything new, anything like... I think the latest gadget I bought was the H8. And there's so much stuff in there, and you never really get to see all of it, or get to use all of it. But gadgets. So, Mr. Chumley Warner, what makes you tick, old boy?
I reckon it's keyboards and synths. I just love, getting hold of them, messing around with them, see what they can do, see what they sound like. Love playing with sounds, doing tracks, bit of sound design. Yeah, that's what I enjoy. Right, maybe a tough one, maybe not. So what's your favourite instrument or piece of tech, or both even?
Oh, do you know what? It's a difficult one. Not that I can play it, it's probably double bass.
Yeah,
I love double bass. I think it's a great instrument. I can't honestly tell you what my favourite instrument is to play. I don't know. Piece of tech. My favourite bit of tech. What was really? It's probably going to be the H8 or the H6s. There, recording devices are brilliant. I just love them. They bring a recording studio in your hand. That's it really. So, Mr. Chumley, what is your favourite instrument, old boy?
Well, it's got to be the bass guitar, because whether I'm playing at home or for out doing a gig, it brings me a lot of pleasure. It's sort of relaxing, You're in tune with what's going on when you're playing an instrument for sure. That's definitely good. Although I do messing around with synths, drum machines, etc. But
would you like to tell the good folks out there what particular bass guitar you have? I know you've got many, but which one you use?
My favourite, there's kind of two. My favourite one is the Paul Reed Smith bass. However, I do all my practicing on my old West Tone Thunder 1A, which is it's just a great guitar, great value.
Can't knock it.
No, it's really good to play. I enjoy playing it.
Brass nut.
Yeah.
Ahead of its time.
Can't go wrong with brass nuts, So how did you get into recording? I know some of a little history on this, some of your early recordings and...
well, more specifically, I think probably why did I get into recording? When people was talking about phantom powering and patching this through and adding compression and I remember being in a studio once when a guy leant down and turned a knob which was miles away from the mixing desk and the vocals got louder and I thought, what sort of black art is this? Whereas basically he was just patching the vocals through a compressor and he was just upping the output gain on it,
okay.
Driving the desk harder, and I wanted to know all about it. And so I ended up getting into it, ended up with my own recording studio at one point. Well, still got it, but don't run it. And made some good albums and really happy when I look back now and listen to them. I was never happy at the time though.
Well, check out the show we did on the 24 track. That's the machine Joe used to use, 24 track Tascam.
Yeah.
And I've got to ask you, because it always makes me smile, your dictaphone. Tell us about your dictaphone. Dictaphone is awesome.
I've got an old cassette dictaphone. When I was a kid, I recorded every time I farted. I farted into the dictaphone. And I ended up with like nearly an hour's worth of non-stop farting. Well, it was hilarious. And I took my auntie, my mum, my dad and my nana. We all went out shopping like you do. I think we was in Frinton-on-Sea. And we was in this charity shop and I put this, because my nana couldn't stand it every time I pressed play and this thing would fart. She'd say, he's doing that on purpose, because it did sound real, this was a really good little dictaphone. And I slipped it in my nana's pocket one day and turned it up full volume and she's walking around the shop with this thing farting in her pocket and she's trying to get away from me, but she didn't realise it was in her pocket. I now realise it was a cruel thing to do, but... it was hilarious at the time.
It seems funny to me, yeah.
And then recently I acquired another dictaphone tape machine and recorded all my farts on it. It's childish, but I think farts never get not funny, do they?
No, toilet humour, it just never gets old. No, it's got to be done, really.
So dictaphones, guys. So what made you get into recording then, Si?
Well, we had a kind of little electronic type band going, and I didn't know anything about recording studios or anything like that. And the first thing I bought, which is, they weren't that much money, but they were, they were enough money back then. It was a Revox.
Oh yeah.
It was only a 2-track Revox. It's similar to one of the ones we had in one of the shows. And what I used to do, I had a little sec desk. And what I used to do is I used to record from the left channel to the right channel because you could bounce. So you could start with your drums, add your bass, bounce back with your guitar, bounce back with your vocals. And that's the earliest recording I did. Apart from when I was a kid, my dad used to have like a music centre with a cassette deck in it. We had a little stereo microphone, and yeah, we used to mess around doing stuff on that. And one of the interesting things was, like messing around with sound and that, if you had the tape deck recording and you press the off button, so it just sort of died and went zzz, it made a really good effect. And then put it back on, play your cassette back, and it was like, yeah, that was really cool. So that was probably my very first messing around with recording and effects and stuff.
Yeah, I remember with the old reel machines, the 4-track head ones, they were only stereo either side, but they were still 4-track head, weren't they?
Yeah.
You could get a delay out of them if you listened back on one of the heads that bypassed the other heads or something. If you listen to the monitor side, the monitor bit would come out later than when you'd get your source and then you get the monitor, then you actually had a delay. And one of the ones I had, it was great.
Yeah, and I think on the show we did on the Revox, because we played one of the old 30-year-old tapes. That mix we did, if you listen to some parts of it, there is a tape delay on it,
right? Which
is from the Revox. So there you go.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little story now, Tubes. Years ago when I was a kid, we had a project to do. We had to go away at the weekend, we had to do a project and we had to bring it back. So what I did, I had 2 tabletop cassette recorders. You can see where I'm going with this, can't you?
Yeah.
So what I did is I'd get one and then I'd strum my rhythm, I'd do like a 12 bar, and then I'd put that right next to the other one. I'd hit play record on that one and just play on that one, and then I'd get my bass and I'd record the bass line along it, and I'd do the same thing backward and forward, lead guitar, and then some drums of some sort. I'd tap a crash helmet because I had a moped in them days, and I made up a song, and that was my project. But I actually recorded some, what's the word for it, some abnormal, I recorded a ghost saying these words: she's doing a favantry. And to this day I've never found out what a favantry is. But the word, the soft spoken voice, neither woman nor man, said she's doing a favantry, and we could not get rid of that. And I took it to school, and all the teachers heard it, give everyone goosebumps. So, and that was, I was about 16, and I remember that, she's doing a favantry.
That's wild, isn't it?
And I could tell you more stories about that, but it turned up on another tape, which makes me wonder. But there you go. That's about that. Yeah, been recording since I was a kid, anyway. Well, Simon, I think we've just about bored the people enough with our what should we do to make a video today thing.
Yeah, but if you like the conversational thing and you want to put all your comments in, that's brilliant.
Just do what you want. We don't mind. Anyway, that's it from this version of Take the Fear Out of Gear with me, Jason Bangers.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
Don't forget to hit the like, the bell, and
subscribe.
We'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.